welcome seeker.
They say there are words that can unlock doors between worlds, phrases so charged with power that they echo through eternity. Among them, one stands above all. As above, so below. A simple sentence. Yet within it lies the architecture of the cosmos, the secret design of reality itself. It whispers of hidden patterns, of a universe where nothing is random, where heaven and earth mirror one another in an endless dance. But what does it truly mean? And why has this phrase haunted mystics, alchemists, and philosophers for millennia? Imagine for a moment, the stars above are not distant strangers, but reflections of the same forces moving within you. The spiral of galaxies mirrors, the spiral of your DNA. The rise and fall of civilizations echoes the tides of your own inner struggles. Could it be that everything, every thought, every motion, every heartbeat is bound to a greater cosmic rhythm? This is not just poetry nor metaphor. It is the foundation of Hermetic philosophy, a key to unlocking the mysteries of alchemy, magic, and transformation. It is the forgotten map that reveals how the divine and the material are not separate realms, but one reality expressed in different forms. Yet, in our modern world, the phrase is often reduced to a cliché, whispered without depth, repeated without understanding. Few realize that its roots trace back to the Emerald Tablet of Hermes Trismegistus, one of the most mysterious and influential texts in the history of esoteric wisdom. In this journey, we will uncover the hidden origins of this phrase, explore how it shaped ancient philosophy and spiritual traditions, and reveal its power as a living principle that still governs our reality today. We will dive into the sacred science of correspondences, uncover the paradox of unity between the microcosm and the macrocosm, and discover how applying this principle can transform the way you see yourself and the world around you. So take a breath, open your mind, and step with me into the labyrinth of ancient knowledge. For what lies ahead is not just an explanation, but an initiation into a truth that has been waiting for you to remember. And if you wish to keep walking deeper into these mysteries, subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments, and keep walking together through the doorways of wisdom our ancestors left behind. The journey is only just beginning. To understand the true weight of the phrase, as above, so below, we must travel back to the mysterious figure said to have first spoken it, Hermes Trismegistus. Half god, half man, a fusion of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth. Hermes was revered as the bringer of wisdom, the revealer of divine secrets, and the father of Hermetic philosophy. His teachings were said to bridge the gap between the heavens and the earth, offering mortals a glimpse into eternal truth. The phrase itself comes to us from the Emerald Tablet, a cryptic text written in a language of paradox and riddle. Though small in size, the tablet was said to contain the very foundation of alchemy and the key to understanding the nature of reality. Among its verses, one line stands as the most enduring. That which is above is like to that which is below, and that which is below is like to that which is above, to accomplish the miracles of the one thing. In these words, the ancients saw a cosmic law that all levels of reality, from the smallest grain of sand to the infinite stars above, are woven together in correspondence. The microcosm reflects the macrocosm. The body reflects the universe. The human soul reflects the divine mind. This was not just philosophy, but a worldview that shaped entire civilizations. In ancient Egypt, the alignment of temples with the stars was a way of manifesting this principle on earth. In Greece, philosophers like Plato spoke of a world of forms and ideals, mirrored imperfectly in our material realm. In India, the Upanishads declared, Tat Tvam Asi, thou art that, pointing to the same truth. The essence within you is the same as the essence of the cosmos. Later, medieval alchemists built upon this Hermetic insight. For them, turning lead into gold was not only a material process, but also a spiritual metaphor. the transformation of the human soul. To change the outer, one had to change the inner. To ascend to the heavens, one had to first descend into the self. As above, so below. But why has this knowledge remained hidden, or at least misunderstood, for so long? Partly because it requires more than intellect. It demands transformation. The phrase cannot be unlocked by logic alone. It requires a shift in perception, a willingness to see that the world outside is not separate from the world within. And so, over time, the phrase was veiled in allegory, encoded in symbols, and passed down through secret schools of initiation. The Hermeticists, the Gnostics, the alchemists of the Renaissance, all preserved fragments of this wisdom, knowing that only those ready to understand would uncover its meaning. Today, when we hear, "as above, so below," it often sounds like a poetic cliché. Yet, in its true form, it is nothing less than a law of reality, a principle of correspondence that connects everything from the stars in the heavens to the silent chambers of your own heart. This is where philosophy meets mysticism, and where myth becomes a guide to understanding our place in the universe. And now we step deeper to uncover not only what this phrase means in theory, but how it reveals itself in the very fabric of existence. At its heart, "as above, so below," is not simply a poetic phrase. It is a law of correspondence, a key to reading the hidden language of reality. It tells us that the same patterns, the same principles, manifest across every scale of existence. Consider the stars. Ancient astronomers gazed into the heavens and saw constellations that mirrored human myths, gods, and archetypes. This was not coincidence. They understood that the movements of the cosmos reflected movements within the human psyche. The heavens were not out there, they were also in here. Modern science, though it avoids mystical language, confirms this strange unity. The branching of galaxies resembles the branching of neurons in your brain. The swirling motion of storms mirrors the spirals of distant galaxies. Even the structure of atoms echoes the order of solar systems. Different in scale, yet speaking the same geometry, the same hidden code. This is the meaning behind, "as above, so below." The great cosmos and the human being are mirrors of one another. You are not a fragment cut off from the universe. You are the universe, experiencing itself through the vessel of your body, your mind, and your soul. In Hermetic thought, this principle was more than metaphor. It was a tool for transformation. If all things correspond, then to understand the higher, one can study the lower. To change the outer, one must begin with the inner. This is why the alchemists insisted that the path to gold began with purification of the soul. The inner fire creates the outer light. This principle also explains why myths, symbols, and archetypes repeat across civilizations that never contacted one another. The sun, dying each night and reborn each morning, becomes a universal image of death and resurrection. The serpent devouring its own tail, the Ouroboros, emerges in Egypt, Greece, and India alike. These symbols were not invented, they were discovered, echoes of eternal truths expressed on every level of being. And yet, the phrase does not end there. The Emerald Tablet reminds us that which is above is like to that which is below, to accomplish the miracles of the one thing. The purpose is not merely recognition, it is unification. By aligning the self with the cosmos, by harmonizing the inner and the outer, one awakens to the one thing, the living essence that animates all of creation. This is why initiates across the ages sought to live in harmony with cosmic rhythms, through ritual, meditation, and sacred architecture. They understood that human life is not separate from the stars, but part of the same great design. To live without awareness of this is to drift blind. To awaken to it is to walk in alignment with the currents of destiny itself. And so, when you hear the words, "as above, so below," you are being reminded of a forgotten law, one that can reorient your perception of reality. It asks you to look beyond surface appearances and to perceive the invisible threads that bind everything together. If you felt that hidden order, that strange synchronicity that seems to whisper of a greater design, then you have already touched this law in action. The journey ahead will take us deeper, unraveling the hidden layers of this principle and confronting the illusions that have obscured it for centuries. If this truth is already stirring something within you, subscribe to Labyrinth of the Veiled and share your thoughts below, because your voice is part of this unfolding mystery. To truly grasp as above, so below, we must step beyond comfort, because this principle is not just beautiful, it is also unsettling. If the human and the cosmic mirror one another, then the darkness of the heavens is also within us. The same forces that give birth to stars also give birth to destruction, chaos, and rebirth. This is why the ancients did not see the phrase as a simple affirmation of unity. It was a warning. To explore the higher realms of knowledge, one must first confront the shadows within. The microcosm reflects not only the light of the stars, but the abyss between them. Myths across the world reveal this paradox. In Egypt, Osiris is dismembered before he can be resurrected. In alchemy, lead must be dissolved before gold can emerge. In Christianity, Christ descends into death before rising in glory. These are not just stories of gods. They are reminders that ascent is only possible through descent. The above cannot be reached without passing through the below. This is the hidden dimension of the Emerald Tablet's teaching. It tells us that heaven and earth, spirit and matter, light and shadow, are bound together in an endless cycle. Separation is illusion. By recognizing this, the initiate steps into alignment with what the Hermetists called the great work. Modern minds may struggle with this. We have been taught to divide, to classify, science here, spirituality there, body here, soul there. But this is precisely what Hermetic wisdom dismantles. The truth is not division, but correspondence. What you repress in your subconscious eventually manifests in the outer world. What is neglected in society festers and returns as chaos. The world is your mirror, distorted perhaps, but accurate in its reflection. And yet, this principle is not a prison, it is liberation. If the outer reflects the inner, then transformation is always within reach. Change your inner world, and the outer world begins to shift. Expand your awareness, and reality expands with it. This is why mystics, sages, and alchemists insisted that true power lies not in controlling the external, but in refining the internal. The kingdom of heaven is not in the sky, nor buried in the earth. It is mirrored in your own being. But let us take this further. If as above, so below reveals a correspondence, then perhaps reality itself is fractal. Every part contains the whole. The drop reflects the ocean, and the ocean is contained within the drop. This is not mere poetry. This is the essence of holographic reality, an idea echoed today by cutting-edge physics. The Hermetists knew that to contemplate this principle is to dissolve the illusion of separateness. The stars are not distant, they are within you. The breath you inhale is the same breath that once swirled in ancient forests, the same breath exhaled by your ancestors. The cycle of above and below is endless, eternal. To awaken to this is to awaken to a terrifying and beautiful truth. You are not small. You are not insignificant. You are the reflection of the infinite, and the infinite is reflected through you. The journey, however, is far from over. For if the principle of correspondence is true, then how can we consciously apply it to our daily lives? How can we use it to align our inner world with the greater cosmos and step into the flow of the one thing? That is what we will now explore. If this revelation stirs something within you, remember, you are part of this conversation. Subscribe to Labyrinth of the Veiled and share your thoughts below. The mysteries unfold more deeply when seekers walk the path together. It is one thing to contemplate the mystery of As above, so below, but wisdom that stays in the mind is only half alive. To unlock its power, it must be lived. The ancients did not see this phrase as an abstract philosophy. They treated it as a method of transformation. The outer cosmos is a mirror of the inner world, which means that every shift within you, every thought, emotion, or intention, echoes outward. To align yourself with the harmony of the universe, you must begin with the laboratory of your own being. One of the simplest yet most profound practices is conscious reflection. Each morning, as the sun rises, close your eyes and breathe deeply. Imagine that the vastness of the cosmos, the stars, the galaxies, the infinite night is mirrored in your chest. Feel that your heartbeat is a rhythm tied to the heartbeat of the universe. This is not imagination alone. It is correspondence, a microcosm aligning with the macrocosm. Another exercise is found in alchemy and Hermetic meditation, the practice of balancing opposites. Throughout the day, notice how you respond to extremes, pleasure and pain, love and anger, success and failure. Instead of being pulled into one side, center yourself in the space between. Just as the heavens balance light and dark, so too must you balance your own polarities. In this equilibrium, power is born. On a more practical level, this principle teaches us that our outer reality is a reflection of the inner state. If your life feels chaotic, it is often because your mind is fragmented. If your relationships mirror conflict, it is because the inner dialogue is unresolved. Transformation begins not by forcing the outer world, but by turning inward, refining thought, emotion, and intention. Try this. When faced with a problem, instead of asking, "How do I fix this out there?" ask, "What within me is being mirrored?" This shift in perspective can dissolve resistance and reveal solutions hidden from ordinary sight. Even sacred ritual is built upon this truth. The altars of Egypt, the mandalas of Tibet, the labyrinths of medieval cathedrals, all are outer symbols designed to activate the inner temple. When you light a candle, you ignite the fire of will within. When you gaze upon sacred geometry, you awaken the geometry of your own consciousness. But there is also a caution here. If you ignore the inner, the outer world becomes a merciless teacher. Life will continue to reflect what you do not face. This is why the Hermetic masters urged initiates to take responsibility. You are the mirror, and the mirrored, the dream, and the dreamer. The practical application of this principle is both liberating and daunting. You are the architect of your world. Your inner alchemy shapes the outer flow of destiny. By learning to direct thought, refine emotion, and harmonize the dualities within, you step into alignment with the greater order of the cosmos. So I invite you, don't let this teaching remain a beautiful phrase on a page. Live it. Experiment with it. Journal your reflections. Meditate on it beneath the stars. Begin to see every encounter, every challenge, every joy as a correspondence between above and below. Because the moment you do, you will notice something extraordinary. The universe begins to speak back. If you are ready to walk deeper into these mysteries, subscribe to Labyrinth of the Veiled and share your reflections below. The labyrinth opens to those who dare to step inside. We began with a phrase so simple it could be carved on stone, yet so profound it could contain the mysteries of the cosmos. As above, so below. Through history, philosophers, mystics, and alchemists have whispered of its power. It was not merely a poetic metaphor, but a cosmic law, a reminder that heaven and earth, spirit and matter, the infinite and the finite, are bound by a hidden thread of correspondence. In exploring this truth, we uncovered how the ancients saw the universe not as separate parts, but as a living mirror. We learned that every star above reflects something within, that every change within reshapes the world without. And we realized that this teaching is not trapped in dusty manuscripts. It breathes through us, here and now. The true meaning of as above, so below is not found in intellectual debate, but in lived experience. When you balance your inner world, the outer world responds. When you awaken your own consciousness, the universe reveals its hidden patterns. When you see yourself not as separate, but as part of the great chain of being, you step into alignment with the eternal. But perhaps the greatest secret is this: the phrase does not merely describe reality, it invites you to create it. You are the bridge between above and below. The choices you make, the thoughts you cultivate, the harmony you embody, all ripple outward, shaping the world. So I leave you with this question. If the universe is mirroring you, what reflection are you casting? The labyrinth waits for those who dare to look within. Step forward, and the mysteries will unfold. If this journey has stirred something within you, subscribe to Labyrinth of the Veiled and share your reflections in the comments. For the conversation does not end here, continues in the minds and hearts of all who seek the hidden truths.